everyone, it's Tyler D. And today we're playing Your Dry Delight. I don't know what this game is. I got it a while back though on Steam, of course, because that's where I get pretty much all of my games. Anywho, I don't know what this game is about, but we're gonna figure this out right this now. We're gonna start this game. Alrighty, it's a good alcoholic game. Ah, what a lovely night. Why do you say we go get a drink? Boss, it's the 5th time you used that joke today. Well, it's your fault for making such a hilarious face every time. Ooh. Oh, you're kinda okay. My name is August Richter, and I am a detective. Unfortunately, my parents thought a nice classic name like James or John just wouldn't be good enough for me. Everyone thought I'd be a downright hilarious to call me July during my training, so I decided going by Richter would suit me just fine. Rich here. I'm hungry. Didn't we just have dinner an hour ago, boss? But my appetite for good food is never sated, just like my appetite for justice. What do you say? Should we go get some cannoli? A fellow in Little Italy makes really fantastic. Boss, this is no time for canola. We got a job to do. Hey Richard, you're always a stick in the mud. This fellow right here is my senior partner, Leslie Clark. He wears his long hair and has what you might call a girlish face, so he's been more of his fair share of teasing too, but somehow absolutely nothing seems to faze him. Case in point, he's worried about cannoli? Is it called cannoli? Maybe. When we're supposed to be tracking down criminals. A true inspiration to us all. Alright, let's get down to business. Run through the plan one last time, step by step. You're still new to solo assignments, so I want to make sure you've got all the details down pat. Or you just forgotten them because you fell asleep during our last meeting. How's that? Don't worry about it. I clear my throat, straighten my posture, and mentally pull up tonight's agenda. You and I are splitting up to gather information on Cleveland's illegal liquor business in its first Volstead. I'm heading to Spixie on Ness Avenue, and you're meeting with an FBI to scope out some warehouses. Leslie nods with his eyes closed, swiveling a little in his chair. Damn it, he better not be dozing off again. For tonight, my cover is Jack Vaughn, and I work for the city government. Yes, so you can say your job is helping civilians, and it'll be technically true because you're terrible at lying. Why'd you get into this line of work again? I hardly actually need detectives who didn't spend their payroll hours hunting for food. Rachel, how cruel! With a critical gasp, Leslie spins rapidly around his office chair like my dry remark to send him into orbit. Sometimes I wonder what bizarre twist of fate landed us together. Heard from remarks side, it sounds like you're all prepared. We'll meet back here tomorrow morning to trade reports, drink coffee, eat donuts. It is my imagination, or is he drooling a little? And decide our next plan of action, of course. Understood. Loud and clear, boss. Loud and clear. I give him a lazy salute before turning towards the door, smoothing out my vest. Richter? Please. Be careful, watch yourself, stay alert, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Like what, skipping out on a job to get cannoli? I'm serious, Richter. You're my partner. I don't want you to be turning to Swiss cheese by Tommy gun or something. He would use a food metaphor. So promise me you'll be careful, alright? I'll worry about you whenever you're off solo. Don't worry, I said I'll worry about you too. Or maybe I'll worry about you too. This guy, doesn't he realize it goes both ways? With a small sigh, I rub the back of my neck with a hand, unsure how to phrase what I want to say. I worry about you too, Leslie. Not like I can help it, since you send yourself on sketchy jobs all the time. It's like you're just looking to be iced. Leslie blinks at me as if he never even considered my concern to be a possibility. Really, that's very sweet of you to say, Richter. He sniffles, clutching a hand to his collar. Damn it, maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut. I mean, you don't need to get all. But if you're so worried about me, why don't you pick up tomorrow's breakfast? We all geezers do need to sleep in sometimes. Unless there's anything else important, boss, I'm gonna head out. Alright. Leslie pushes himself up from his chair, stepping over to get the door for me. I expect great things from your report tomorrow. With any luck, we'll be well on our way to making Cleveland a boring old town drier than a Sahara desert. Doesn't sound quite so encouraging when I put it that way, does it? Can't argue there, God bless America. Landed the liquor free. See you in the morning, boss. Liquor free? Give them hell, detective. He reached out to ruffle my hair, fondly as he often does. I stopped brushing it down a while ago. Leslie always likes to mess it up first thing anyway. We trade wide smiles, but with that, I head out into the cool air night. Next stop, Richter's first speakeasy. Agent Games presents. Password? A gruff voice whispers to me through the locked door. A basement of this dingy restaurant echoes with the muffled sounds of swing music, like it's haunted by some ghostly jazz hand. Swordfish. There's a long pause. My informant definitely said the password was swordfish. This isn't a setup, is it? If it is, heads will roll by the end tonight, seeming mine still. The door swings open before I can finish that thought. Welcome, sir. Please, enjoy your night. Thanks, I'm sure I will. I stepped past the tall doorman and into the loudest place I've ever seen or heard. Smoke everywhere, deafening music, giant gaggle of dancers, loitering hopheads, flappers posing in wrist skirts, drunk saps trying to impress them. Are these? Oh, they have definitions. That's what that is. All the laughter and cheer makes me wonder what's so criminal about it all. But I guess it's not my job to ask those kinds of questions. After I wander around a little, weaving through the hooch-holding crowd, I end up loitering by the bar. The bartender's staring at me. I raise a brow at him, offering a silent defense. What, isn't it normal to come to a speakeasy and not order any liquor? No. No. His face is definitely saying no. Alright, I'd like to order one of the special. The special comes out of Ed's bathtub, sir. What? Ha ha ha! The bartender blows out a laugh and I freeze in hair. Oh boy, don't worry, adds to the taste. I sure bet it does. Still laughing, he uncocks a bottle and pours me a glass of clear liquid, stuffing a slime slash into the rim. It's like putting a fancy bow on a pile of horse crab, but I guess I should appreciate the effort. I lit the glass, taking cautious sip. Spit it out, swallow. Swallow like a champ, I say. Ugh! Jesus, that's bad. What does Ed do in his bathtub? Actually, I don't want the answer to that. As I hold my glass of God knows what and lean back against the bar, my gaze wanders around the crowded parlor. The informant said this place is a key part of Cleveland's liquor business. Apparently it's owned by mobster types. And now that I think about it, those guys over there look a little rough around the edges. They're not drinking or dancing, just watching the patrons. I think to myself, I kind of scoot down the bar, getting close enough to hear the conversation. So loud here that I can't make out what they're saying, but I managed to catch a few words. Damn Italians! Our turf! Them and no cops! Did I hear that right? I'm part of the Italian mob? I wonder who owns this place then. Must be a different gang. Some kind of deal. That'll work. Risky. I strain my ears as much as I can, since the conversation about to get even more interesting. Just one or two hints, maybe a name, come on. Only one drink for you tonight, my friend? I lower a grin before his mouth was right in my ear. The culprit smirks me when I whip my head around, surprised, offering a little wiggle of his fingers in greeting. Tall, suited, well-groomed, he has an unusually refined look to him. Is he offering to buy me a drink? Wants enough of me. Is there any better stuff? Is there any better stuff? If you know what I mean. I can manage another drink, but not another one of what of this is. And jerk my chin towards a mild white pours in my glass. You don't like it, really? I've been told it's one of the best drinks here. One or two more and I promise they'll start growing on you. No, really. I like my tongue too much coated through more of Satan's mouthwash. My dry comment makes a stranger chuckle. Cat, do not call my bed. My dry comment makes the stranger chuckle. He flashed me a wink. Oh, so that's the problem. Oh, never fear. I'll take good care of that tongue of yours. What's that supposed to? Bartender, fresh drink for the delicate-tongued gentleman. And unusual for myself. He waves to the man behind the counter who quickly nods. Oh, great. can't actually get drunk, damn it. It's like this guy's here just to ruin my investigation. We'll get you fixed up with something that'll tickle your fancy, mister. Trailing off, the stranger raised one eyebrow at me expansionally. Jack. Jack Vaughn. Jack, Not the name I'd have picked for you, but I still like it. Really? What name would you have picked? Ask me again after you had a few more drinks. As if on cue, the bartender passes the glass towards me and gently slides a steaming cup towards my companion. Is that coffee? Thank you, Arthur. Anytime. He throws the man beside me a wily grin. I can't shake the feeling down the butt of some inside joke, but maybe that's my detective's paranoia talking. You don't drink, huh? I won't call myself a teetotaler. What the hell is a teetotaler? Ah, a glossary. A teetotaler is someone who completely abstains from alcohol. The etymology was fuzzy and cool. A teetotaler. Lovely. Right. Well, drinking partner, since you've twisted me into this, who exactly am I toasting with again? My name is Mayor, and I'll endeavor to make sure you won't forget it. How the hell am I supposed to read this guy? If I didn't know better, I'd almost think he was trying to... Look at him! What the hell is this? It's a toast that translated to as to life in Hebrew. Nice! Explain some sort of toast. He clings his cup against my glass. Look at him! I mimic Mayor's pronunciation when he happily nods in approval. We both sip our drink. Not that it's air deluxe, but still feels like I swallowed a gasoline cocktail. Why the poker face, Jack? Not smooth enough for that tongue of yours? Man leans in closer, propping his elbow on the counter and gazing at my face. Woo, this game! What if he's hell bent on being all friendly? Maybe I could pull some information out of him. I bet he knows something. He's got that kind of smug air. Yes, woo is me and my delicate tongue. Really, where do they get this stuff? Is this all homebrewed? Surely this is a big seller. Of course. Why, the biggest seller in town, no less. So he does know, now I just have to. But more importantly, why don't you tell me a little something about yourself? Or a lot more. I promise you, I won't mind. Alright, play cool, Richard. I can't rush this, I'll catch on. I'm nobody special, really. I keep civilians safe, serve the city, and all that. He smoked deep in for some reason. Just another average fella here to relax after a hard day's work. Hoping to take the edge off. Are you just gonna sit there and me all night, or what? Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I have a sneaky suspicion that you're lying. Ooh, how'd you know? Impossible, you can already tell. Was Leslie right? Am I really that bad at this? Why don't you be honest with me, Jack? Be honest with you? I'm not. Mayor leans even more, this time snaking an arm around my shoulder and pulling me in close. I swallowed, trying to keep a hold on myself, his lips brushing against my ear. He can know. There's no way he knows. You're really a Simcha, aren't you? Wait, Simcha? Confused, I see a side glance from Mayor, and his eyes glimmer back at me mischievously. A pimp, of course. What? What? A pimp? What? Oh, you can't fool me with that act, Jack. I saw you looking around earlier for any attractive girls, subtle as a train wreck. Lord have mercy. If I have to pretend to be a pimp, I think I'll just round the door instead. A little laugh spills out of mine before he can bite it back. Care to tell me what's so funny? Just teasing, forgive me. I didn't mean any offense, nor did I think you nearly fainted on the spot, but I was quite ready to catch you. Aw, I love his wink. Alright, you got me. I was just, horrified that my good name might be ruined, shook me up. Secretly, of course, I'm mostly only relieved that he didn't actually see through the lie. That was too close for comfort. Oh, naturally. An upstanding silver servant like you is obliged to maintain his saintly reputation, right? Bartender, another round for the gentleman, if you please. Man, I wish someone would buy me drinks. Goodness gracious, I want some drinks. And that was how I got pulled into a night of drinking with my new companion. It soon grows clear that Mario isn't going to let anything upon himself. He managed to dodge all of my crushes like a pro boxer ducking punches. But I'm too invested to turn back. I know he knows something. He knows I know he knows something. But we're just dancing around the subject. And as much as I hate to admit it, it's fun talking to him so much so that I nearly forget what I came here to do. The way he gives me all of his attentions, well, flattering in a way. Ooh, who's that mysterious boy? While we banter back and forth, I noticed sketchy-looking men from earlier throwing glances towards us. Are they looking at me? Admire? Just trying to get the bartender's attention? I can't tell, but I've got a feeling we're being watched. If you don't mind, Jack, I have a question for you. An elbow nudged against my side, interrupting my thoughts. A question? Sure, I'm all ears. Turn my head back towards the mayor. Only see him already pressed close to my side. Our cheeks are nearly brushing together. Oh my! You wouldn't have to be looking for underground work, would you? Underground? My heart skipped a beat. He's finally bringing it up. You could say that, more or less. Well, in that case, how about we make a deal? I'll trade you a little business information in exchange for something on your end. He whispers conspiracy to me, lips curled upward in a sly, daring smirk. Something, huh? What kind of something are we talking about here? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. His breath lightly tickles my cheek. For a second, my focus gets a little hazy. I can see all those sparkling green eyes. My mind races through all the things he might want from me, things I normally never think of until. Bring me a cassata cake. Cake from Sicily, Italy. Sponge cake, ricotta cheese, and candy fruit. The hell kind of— that is not a cake. That is not a cake. What the hell kind of a cake is this? That is not a cake. Not a cake. If it has fruit in it, it's not a cake. Okay? Cake is fattening. Fruit is not. Can't mix. No. Or cascada cake, the type from Frank's Bakery on the east side, almost certainly not kosher. But I won't tell if you don't. How far they change the recipe to something simply amazing, but let's just say I'm not very welcome in that neighborhood. Not exactly the offer I was expecting. What kind of offer were you expecting now, good sir? A cake? Right. I'll think about it. No promises. Playing coy, are we? Very well, I see how it is. He exhales a small laugh that brushes my skin again, sending a little tingle down the nape of my neck. Please, think it over carefully, and if you decide to accept my offer, come back here tomorrow night. How does that sound, Jack? I hesitantly nod. Can this wise guy really be part of some criminal outfit trading information for cakes? Perfect! It'll be plenty worth your while, so keep that in mind. When he finally pulls back, I subconsciously exhaled the breath I didn't know I'd been holding. No matter how I look at it, he's acting sweet on me. Of course, it's not like anyone would notice crowded as this place is. Do you happen to have a favorite kind of drink? Because there's another question that'll catch me off guard. I want to have it ready for you tomorrow night. That's awful nice of you. Well, my favorite drink is, I guess that'd be, I don't know, something sweet, whiskey. Okay. I like fruity drinks, but I also like whiskey, okay? But the only time I mix whiskey, I don't drink pop. I don't, you know. Haven't drank pop in like a long time. So when I have whiskey, I either mix it with either apple juice or blue Powerade. One of the two. But, I don't know. I guess I'll go with whiskey, you know? So I can sound like a man's man. Because I'm a manly man. I'm a big shot man. Whiskey, of course. Do I look like a guy who drinks anything else? You didn't seem to have much trouble with the other drinks you've enjoyed tonight. That's because you were distracting me. Really? Am I that— excuse you? Patinant, hello, excuse you? Really? Am I that captivating? You were practically holding me captive from the start, so yes? He lets out a low chuckle, shaking his head. There's something charming about his laugh. Maybe the way it comes from deep in his chest, gentle but resonant. Whiskey it is then, and only the best kind, as a minch of those. What's a minch? The Yiddish term literally means man, but I can refer to women as well. Oh, because someone who's honorable and compassionate. I'm a minch. I like that. I like how he's neutral, you know. I'll make sure to take excellent care of both you and your refined palate. You're acting like I've already made up my— You're leaving? My sipped the last coffee and pushed it away, smoothing his hair back with his one hand. I'm afraid so, Jack. I've got some business to tend to, but I do hope I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and tonight's drinks are my treat, as a small token of thanks for your delightful company. With With a last knowing wink, Meyer steps away from the counter and slips into the crowd, mingling with the drunken sea. He left so suddenly. I wonder what business he's attending to. Well, never mind. I guess that concludes tonight's investigation. What a ride. I leave the speakeasy unsure whether Meyer pulled one over on me or if I actually pulled one over on him. He saw something, Dan Meyer. No one's ever swept me into their pace so fast before. I can almost still feel the warmth of his breath on my skin. Tsk, just a drink talking. Just a drink. And with that poor attempt to reassure myself, I stuffed my hands in my pockets and began the sobering walk home. Am I walking home? Ah, there's my home. Oh, beautiful typewriter. Love it. The dinner shopping birds outside my window. The laps of children away to school. The blinding sun. Ugh. Why is our office so goddamn bright? Oh, my head. I like he's like positive light, beautiful kids here. You can hear the kids playing in distance, you know, school's in session. Ah, beautiful day. And why does the goddamn office so goddamn bright? Things I do for this job, I swear. As I sit in my chair, sipping my morning coffee and trying to ignore this horrible hangover, my eyes drift up the clock. Leslie's even later than normal. I hope nothing's wrong. If he doesn't come in soon, maybe I should just leave a note and go nap in the car? Good morning! As if I suddenly have the bolts of sunny hail, Leslie suddenly bursts into the office. In one hand, he's holding a stack of paperwork, and in the other... Is that a cake? Fresh from Frey's Bakery! I tell you, those fellas really nailed the whatever this is. Let's ring to pick back up peas and happily stuff his face, chewing away the relish. That's the exact same cake Meyer asked for last night, isn't it? Is this some kind of conspiracy? Is every man in Cleveland eating these cakes except me? Oh? Pausing, Leslie leans in to pare my face, frowning gently. You look a little under the weather, Witcher. Your hair's all messy too, and I haven't even gotten my hands on it yet. Wait, don't tell me. No, you're not hung over, are you? Witcher, you naughty boy. Listen, boss, could you please get on to the report? Changing the subject, I see. Absolutely shameless. You naughty, naughty boy. Okay. Hi. How are you doing, Batman? How are you doing? Leslie, you seem to think my hangover is the funniest thing in the world. Chuckles all the way over to his office chair. Yeah, laugh it out, your system. I sit here hoping for a spontaneous eclipse. I'll let you start it off then, my little party partner. What did you find out last night? In between shots, that is. Ahem. Well, from what I've heard, it sounds like the Italians are running the speakeasy or even most of the liquor business. If I had to guess, either a big street gang or the Jewish mafia. The Jewish mafia? It's true. They've been growing in size around here lately. So I've heard. What makes you think it's them, though? I heard a couple of fellas talking about the Italian mafia as competition, so it can't be them. After that, the man I drank with, he was Jewish. And I have a pretty strong feeling he's some kind of mobster. Oh, tell me more. Perking up curiously, Leslie props onto his chin with his hand, leaning forward to gaze at me from the desk. He's got a bit of whipped cream on one corner of his mouth, so I pretend not to notice. The guy said his name was Meyer, for starters. He was well-dressed, a little too confident, and... Should I tell Leslie about the flirting? I mean, he doesn't really need to know. And I sort of like to enjoy the memory without being scolded, but... And he flirted me. And he seemed important. And he flirted me. I ain't got no shame. You flirt with me, I'm gonna say something. He may have been flirting with me. He what? He raised his voice incredulously, jaw dropping. Well, could have been that. I just misread things, but... The nerve! Unacceptable! Leslie pushes out his chair and begins to pace around the office. I can't tell if he's genuinely angry or just fussing like he normally does. How dare he flirting with my junior partner? Really? That's the issue you have with it? Poor, small, defensive little Rachel at the mercy of some cruel gangster. If only I'd been there! I'm bigger than you, boss. This mayor had better watch out, mark my word. Boss! He freezes when I call out to him in frustration. Well, when he gives me that innocent, did I do something wrong expression, I can't really stay annoyed, can I? Would you just please sit down so I can finish my report? Oh, you want to finish? Sorry about that. Sheepishly clearing his throat, Leslie sinks back in his chair and nods for me to continue. Maya offered me a deal for information. A deal? You serious? I nod, barely resisting the urge to rub my forehead. Details on a mob in exchange for... This is so ridiculous, I can barely say it out loud. In exchange for a cake. I like his eyes just glare like, are you fucking kidding me right now? A fucking cake? Oh, come on, Richard. Tell me what he actually wanted. I know you're trying to get revenge for me teasing you, but I'm being serious, boss. He wanted a cake. Pounding at the paper bag that holds Leslie's half-eaten breakfast, I put on the strangest face I can manage. It's from the neighborhood. It's from the neighborhood around Little Italy, right? Obviously, the place owned by the Italian gang, so he can't get too close. But as for why he wants one, I've got no clue, boss. Maybe a kid at home who likes them. Sweet tooth, forbidden fruit. It reeks of a setup, Rachel. Isn't that obvious? Leslie wrinkles his nose, about the reaction I expected, and really not an unfair one. I thought about that, believe me. But if it was set up, why would he invite me back? Wouldn't it have been easier to get rid of me right there? And he could have made his offer sound more serious too. Anyone with a half brain will be suspicious. That's true, I suppose. I still don't like it though, not one bit. He lets out a heavy sigh, sticking a hand into the bag with his cake and tearing off a piece of Italy munch on. Well, while you were having the time of your life last night, I was chatting with Mr. FBI. Apparently one of the city's politicians is hosting a big party at the hotel tonight. Thanks to our contact, I've got us passes inside. Because you know what's going to be at the party, my dear witch store? A lot of liquor. A hell of a lot of liquor. Probably provided by the main source in Cleveland. Let's not exchange knowing looks. I can already see what he's getting at. So you want to scope it out for information? It's a good bet, and a safe one. Once folks get drunk, there's no telling what kind of juicy information we'll get out of them. If we're lucky, some of it might even be related to our case. I wouldn't count on it. We snicker in our line of our work. Both of us have seen our fair share of these ritzy orgies. Oh, what's a ritzy? Glam established, something in the existence of being gaudy. Okay. I think you should come to the party with me tonight. With our smarts and my good looks, we're bound to find something out. And, if you want my honest opinions, Leslie goes thoughtfully silent for a moment. Then, and a more serious look darkens his eyebrows. I think this Richard at the speak is too risky. Even marriage doesn't mean you any harm. Any other mob types around there might not feel the same way. But, I also don't think you're green enough to walk into the death trap. Gee, thanks, boss. When I roll my eyes, Leslie offers me a soft, affectionate smile, the kind he only puts once in a blue moon. I'm heading to the party either way, but I trust your judgment, Richard. You can decide for yourself where to go tonight. What it'll be. As much as I hate to disappoint Leslie, my instincts are telling me the speakeasy worth the gamble. It's a risk, no doubt about it, but one I feel like I have to take. Sitting on my seat, I approach Leslie's desk and lean over it, giving him a firm look to show my conviction. Sorry, boss. I'm gonna try my luck with Meyer. There's a lead in there. I just know it. Plus, he flirted with me, boss. He flirted with me. This is true love, I'm telling you. It's written among the stars. It's true love. Like I expected, Leslie doesn't look too thrilled by my choice. But true to his word, he soon lets out a good-natured sigh, heartily leaving your partner in the dust. So this is what it comes to, eh? Fine. I'll just enjoy the free party food by myself. Not even going to bring me back a sandwich? Asking you, friend, for what? Leslie huffs and I stick on his playful sulkiness, although I have to wonder if a little bit of it isn't genuine. Alright. But if you go, promise me you'll station a few officers near the speakeasy, just in case something goes wrong. You never know when trouble might pop. Yeah, that's fair. I'll call them. I'll make the calls. I'll make the calls. Good boy. Very good boy. Now I won't I'll worry less about you. He reaches out to ruffle my hair. Luckily, it was already messy, so he can't inflict much more damage. Now, let's cannonball into that stack of paperwork. Been looking forward to it all morning. We spend the rest of the day going through reports, most of them related to the Italian gang activity on the east side. It doesn't exactly put me at ease for when I leave the office heading towards Little Italy to pick up Maya's cake. I keep picturing his face and my mind wanders to how he might react when I hand this to him. Will it really make him happy? Aside from those distracting thoughts though, my bakery trip is an uneventful one. Prize cargo in hand, ain't about a speakeasy, just a night settling in. Welcome, sir. Please enjoy your night. Why, I will. Domain gives his customary greeting and I casually nod while stepping past. Here I am, a detective on a risky job, shuffling into his speakeasy with a cake in a paper bag like some kid holding onto his school lunch. Not my finest moment. The place is packed full, just like last night, which means I can't really pick Meyer out easily. I guess if I hang around the bar long enough, maybe he'll show up. Oh, it's Mr. Jack. Of course, his voice, different from Meyer's, growls out behind me. I turn to see one of the rough-looking men I noticed last night staring at me suspiciously. I'm gonna pat you down, make sure you aren't healed, understand? No! No one did this to me last night. What's the big deal? Would you shut up? I'm not here to answer questions. Before I have a chance to protest further, he grabs me and starts patting my pockets, roughly feeling around. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna be taking this for tonight. The man pulls out the piece I've been carrying as insurance, just in case things went south. Well, now I feel even more like a defenseless kid. Great. Just don't pull any more dumb moves, and you'll be fine. And we like to keep things real cordial around here. Got it? Yeah, I got it. Good. Then we'll be heading to the back room. Whatever you... Wait, the back room? What are you taking me? Wait! My man got kidnapped! The man suddenly grabs my waist, pulling me along to the big pyramid. My heart starts to pound on my chest. What am I getting myself grabbed into? I told the officer not to get too close to the place unless I was gone for a while, but who knows what will happen in the meantime. My captain takes me to the back of the parlor and down a long, dark corridor. The music and laughter fade slowly in the distance, replaced by the only sound of our footsteps. What's going on? Finally, we reach a large black door and the man knocks firmly on it several times. Come in. The door opens in a roomy lit, spacious parlor, not exactly the scary, dank room I'd been expecting. And there, in the middle of a lush couch, sits a familiar tall man. Mr. Eastman, your friend's here. Yes, I can see that. Thank you for bringing him in. Make sure no one intrudes on us, if you'd be so kind. Yes, sir. With a polite nod, the other man departs, closing the door behind him with a soft click. Once he's gone, Meyer and I stare at each other for a few seconds in silence. I can only think that this dramatic reintroduction was deliberate. He knows I can read the subtext. Well, I brought you your cake. I lift the bag in my hand and shake it a little, laughing nervously. I knew I could count on you. A pleased smile slowly spreads over his lips, and his sight makes me relax a little. He passes the couch beside him, and I don't exactly feel like I'm in a position to refuse. I approach and typically lower myself down, sink into the soft cushions. Why, you're stiff as a sheet of glass. What's wrong, Jack? Your secretary back there wasn't exactly the most gentle of fellas. I apologize. They're used to dealing with coarser individuals than yourself, you see, and I've got to tell them to use kids' gloves. It's not that... kid gloves. It's not that. I wasn't expecting all of this. All of this? Do you mean a nice back room and a speakeasy? Mary gives me a fox innocent look. Right, that's obviously what I was referring to. Anyway, here, your prize. I hope it didn't get smudged when your lackey was jostling me around. I open the bag with the cake, and his light lit up when he takes it from my hands. Wonderful, I can smell it already. Sure, do us and bread, Marabi, you say, but I like to pretend it doesn't apply to cakes. What is that? Fruit is hard to eat a stranger's bread. Ha! Hard to eat a stranger's bread. Nice. He gazes longingly at the bag for a moment, then sets it on one side. The smile finds its way onto my lips before I even realize it. The way he likes sweets so much really reminds me of Leslie. Oh, before I forget, I have something for you, Jack. Maya leans around the edge of the sofa, gunning softly, before straightening back up with a bottle in hand. Old Firsto Kentucky whiskey, the label reads. You remembered. I have an excellent memory, especially when it comes to people who catch my interest. Plus, I'm a man who have people who jostle other people around, so I'm kind of a big deal. He takes a glass from the table beside him and starts to pour me a drink, humming softly. I notice he's already got a half-empty cup of coffee for himself, black as the night. This is quality product right here. I promise there's no ad involved. Merrill hands me the glass, letting his fingers brush against mine for a moment longer than necessary. Oh, how naughty! Thanks. You're quite the host. You expected anything less? He turns a little bit on the sofa, propping one elbow against the back so he can gaze at me heads on, feeling slightly embarrassed under his stare. I take a curious sip of the drink. Damn, it goes down so easy. Good enough that I can see why you're not serving it out there. A man has to make a living, unfortunately. Buying and transporting high quality goods is expensive, not to mention risky. I'd much prefer to serve good liquor over the common swell, but it's not quite feasible yet. He paused for a thoughtful moment, though his eyes flicked back to my face soon after. Well, about that information are you, assuming you're still interested in work? As I notice my drink, Mayor begins to describe the main mafia figures in the city, along with various records they keep in great detail. Combined with everything else I've seen tonight, I think it confirms my suspicions. He's near the top of the underworld food chain in Cleveland. He's not even trying to hide it. In fact, I think he's just playing a game with me, seeing how far we can take this before one of us has to state the obvious. Knowing that, you would think I'd be incredible and comfortable right now, but for whatever reason, being around Mayo puts me completely at ease. Maybe it's this disarming casual mannerism or the soft and smooth way he speaks. Excuse you, Batman, what do you think you're doing? I am sitting here. There's nothing great but he's perfectly composed. Occasionally, he shifts on the sofa beside me, brushing my leg with his own in a way that can't possibly be an incident. I can't tell what's going on behind his twinkling green eyes, but there's something playfully devious about the glances he keeps giving me. And I think that would make our trade just about even, no? He finishes the ruse to script with an impish wink, taking a sip of his coffee. You sure are familiar with all the gang activity here, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd almost think you control some of it yourself. Me? Why, I'm not sure what would lead you to such an outrageous conclusion. Instead of looking offended though, Mario presses in a little closer, his smirk suddenly growing mischievous. After all, it's rather rushed to assume things about people you don't know particularly well. Don't you agree, Witcher? He knows my name. How do you? He smugly lifted a cake bag, rustling it before my face. Your name is on the label. Wow, Richter. A mistake I won't expect from you, if you'll pardon my rudeness. Were you distracted at the time you purchased it? I'm not about to mention how I was daydreaming about him when I bought the cake. I think I'd rather just let my professional pride take the fall. Of course, I know you're a detective too, and I can guess why you're here, but please, don't take it as a blow to your acting skills. I'm just well acquainted with a number of professional liars, you see. If you already know so much about me, why are you pouring me drinks rather than having me shot and dumped in the alley? Mayor clicks his tongue, lightly wagging his finger at me. Violence is not how I prefer to do business, Richter. It's only ever a temporary solution. Violence begets violence, which is why you have warring Italian crime families rather than one consolidated, powerful body. No, in most circumstances, I would much rather make friends than enemies. Friends like you, which is why you're not being dumped in an alley. Although I would never harm a Shanapunim like you, no matter what my moral code was. He shifts on the sofa again, this time letting his legs stay resting against my own. I swallow, relieved by his explanation, but acutely aware of his face being a mere few inches to my right. You certainly aren't like any other guy I've met, law-abiding or otherwise. Why don't you tell me more about what it's like being in this risky business? I clumsily attempt to slide the conversation in another direction, daring to glance over at Mayo. No, please. I know a one-sided agreement when I see one. With a gloating air of someone who's just caught their opponent cheating, Meyer shakes his head. I'll answer a few questions of yours, but only on a condition I can ask questions of my own. I swear on my honor to answer the truth, and you'll do the same. But we can avoid one question in exchange for a favor. Does that strike you as fair? His tone casually rises up at the end, not so subtly daring me to accept. I think I'd be an idiot to expect businessmen like yourself to play fair, but alright, I'll bite. That's what I like to hear. Meyer gives me a raucous, teasing grin, all too pleased with my reply. As a gest of goodwill, I'll even let you start. Really? How do you make any money with that kind of generosity? Oh, you'd be surprised. As Meyer chuckles to himself, I pause and ponder on what just to ask. What do I want to most know about? Ask about his gang, ask about his history. I feel like gang is too subtle. Let's ask about his history. Tell me about your background, your history. What was it like for you growing up? My credits seem to catch Meyer off guard. See, no one asks you how you're doing or like who you are, you know. They only want to get to know the business, you know. Not me! But his pride quickly sheds to a gentle, pleased expression. He nods in acknowledgement. I was raised in a cozy little Jewish community in Missouri, where I lived until a few years ago. I'm sure you'll find this hard to believe, but I always kept to myself as a boy. I rarely spoke to anyone. I suppose you could say I was afraid of rejection. My mic's in the way, so I can't really see it. I arrived with my closest friend. We had corned beef sandwiches and talked about baseball on the weekends. Looking back now, I think it was just as lonely as I. He chuckled softly, gaze flickering down to the coffee table and lingering on his cup. I can't imagine Mayo ever being withdrawn. I guess he didn't develop his charisma until later. Several days after my bar mitzvah, a few boys who I'd never seen before approached me on the street. Mayo, they said, you're a tall, strong guy. What the hell are you playing with the rabbi instead of making money? I realized I didn't have much of an answer. We informed a merry little crew. It was enjoyable to have that kind of attention from my peers, and my desire to fit in was why I began jobs doing them. Eventually, my name garnered a certain reputation. The discussion grew, people started looking up to me, and somehow I ended up on top of it all. Miles' eyes returned to me. I can really tell the true emotion behind them. Nostalgia, regret, or satisfaction. The rabbi, you know whatever happened to him? We don't speak anymore. He gives me one of those brief, thin lip smiles, the kind you only show to be polite. Again, it's hard to see though what it means, but I can detect a little longing in his voice. You know, I've always separated mobsters from real people in my head, like you were all just monsters who'd lost your humanity. But listening to you talk, I guess it makes me realize how we're not so different after all. I twirl my glass between my fingers, unsure if that knowledge makes me more happy or grim. Mayor studies me in silence for a little while. It's not an awkward silence, though, just a thoughtful one. Well, your turn. Full question. You have one? Oh, I have many. With a sadly finally breaks, Mayor gives me a weird grin, his eyes momentarily flickering down to my mouth. Yeah, I'm listening. Alright, what's your greatest fear? My greatest fear? He nods, watching me expectantly. No immediate answers popped in head, so I'm all off question for a moment. My greatest fear? Something that will keep me from sleeping at night? What is it? Hurting innocent people. Oh. I nod, forcing a brief, awkward smile as I take another sip. I feel like that's fake. You know, I mean, yes, you're a detective, and yes, you're always worried about hurting, you know, innocent people, but I feel like that's fake, you know? I feel like it should have been better. Mary doesn't add anything further, though. Is he waiting for me to be elaborate? I think it's my duty, well, the duty of everyone in law enforcement, to make sure Americans are safe and happy. That's why we exist. It's not just a job you do for money. It's a job that lets you go home feeling better about the world, even if it's just a little bit. Mel tilts his head a little to one side, eyes glimmering at me. Then his hand slips onto my shoulder, resting there gently for a few seconds before squeezing his very admirable rich door. Although I have to wonder just where Volstead fits into that. He trails off curiously. Is he trying to lead me somewhere with that vague comment? Well, it's your turn, isn't it? Why don't you ask me something lighthearted, and then mine begin more personal. He leans in a little more, hands linger on my shoulder. I can smell his light cologne and subtle earthy scent of coffee. I've been trying desperately to keep my nerves under control, but it's getting harder and harder the more Mayo teases into my personal space. As if he has a lover? As if he has a lover. Just tell me, do you love me? Do you have a lover alive? You must, right? Being the cat's meow and all. Cat's meow? What the fuck? No. Mary responds casually, offering a little shrug when I shoot a glance over at him. Is it my imagination, or does he look incredibly smug right now? Why are you wearing that expression? Are you so very surprised? Oh, maybe you're relieved? I'm very relieved. No, just surprised though. I really didn't think you'd still be a bachelor, eh? And you've been flirting with me? So this is real? And this is real, right? And why is that? Because I'm the cat's meow? The fuck is a cat meow? Can we just get on to the next question? I want to be a cat meow. Am I cat's meow? No one told me. No one called me a cat's meow. Now I'm kind of mad. Pausing, Mary makes a show of tapping a finger against his bottom lip, turning his eyes toward the ceiling. It's such an obvious display that I know for a fact he's already got his question picked out. He's just toying with me. I drain the last of my glass and attempt to act casual, turning my head away slightly. Ah, I've got one. What Mary do you have your first kiss? Please describe it in great detail. Ugh, this is getting juicy. God, what the fuck are you doing? I nearly choke on my drink. So this is what he was planning all along? I'm listening very attentively. Hold on, Damn it, I know this is what he wants me to say, but it'll be a cold day in hell before I do this, because I've never probably kissed anyone before. Oh! Can I just trade the favor? Oh? Don't find surprise, you bastard. In that case, I suppose I'll take you up on that favor right now. Ooh, what's gonna happen? I risk to squeeze my shot, sucking a breath. Feels like my chest is going to explode. Richter? What are you doing? I realized what I see Mara staring at me quizzically. I thought no, of course he won't. He's too much of a gentleman. Just a little dizzy from the drink. So what do you want from me for the favor? Well, you'll probably think of me a fool of saying this, but reading from back to right, Mayor lifts it down and sighs happily, slipping his hand inside to unwrap the cake. I'd like you to share it with me. Oh, what a gentleman. Share the cake? He nods, pulling back the paper wrapping to reveal the delicious-looking, spongy white dessert. I feel guilty enjoying it by myself, especially considering you bought it for me. So before we savor it together, does that sound agreeable? Huh, I never had a thing such since lunch, so if you're asking the right guy, should we just cut it in half, or what? No. You're going to feed it to me. I'm sorry, what? I'm playing him out, unsure if I heard him correctly. I don't even know if I read that correctly. He gazes back at me calmly. I definitely didn't mishear that, did I? If you want, then should I get a fork, or that won't be necessary? Come on, take a bite. Mary offered the cake to me along with the daring rise of his bow. Oh, this is getting good. I feel like I just walked into a trap, but I knew that from the beginning, didn't I? And I came here all the same because I wanted it to happen. I just gotta take a small bite of the cake, letting the fluffy sweetness rest on my tongue. Excuse you, Batman. What are you doing? Then, Mia gently curls a finger on my chin, gradually closing the distance between us. His chest presses against mine, pinning me to the back of the sofa. There's no need to be embarrassed, Richter. His breath, those words against my cheek, pulling my jaw down ever so slightly to part my lips. Ooh, this is getting good. Ooh. Oh boy. Slowly, delicately, he covers his mouth with his own. The sweet flavor mingles between our tongues, but my head feels so foggy that I can barely think about how it tastes. Mia teases with me with maddening, light, soft kisses, pulling back a little bit each time I start to press forward. He's really trying to provoke me, isn't it? Well, it's working. Oh. I bite down hard on his lower lip, exhaling a hot, impatient breath. Momentarily, his chest presses harder against mine. His kisses suddenly grow more aggressive, hard and deep, so intense I have to gasp for air whenever I can. I pull his coat off his shoulder, grasping nearly his shirt, letting his hands water all over his powerful body. Oh, yes. Just his tongue starts to slip into my mouth. He pulls back again, this time breaking into different grip. Oh, you bastard, you're such a tease. If I'd known that you would be so eager, I would have done this a lot sooner. We're gonna spend the whole night talking or share more of that cake. I can't disappoint my favorite detectives now, can I? It would be horrible if you clapped me in the shackles and brought me in for interrogation after all. Oh, you sound pretty excited about that idea, actually. Oh, can you blame me? Maya swats a finger through the cake's icing, then presses it past my lips. I suckle on it without hesitation, lapping the sweetness of his fingertip, a faint moan leaking from my throat before I can contain it. Richter. Maya suddenly leans in for another kiss, trailing his fingers along my bottom lip. This time, he's the impatient one, his tongue pressing sensing against my lip until I part them. It's greedily swirls inside my mouth, tangled with my own tongue as Maya presses me roughly against the couch. It's like he can't get enough of me, and I can't get enough of him. I grasp his lips and keep him pulled forward, waiting for more and more. As we trade eager, when wet kiss, my mind hesitantly wanders towards a certain question. What am I really doing here? Am I trying to live out some detective seduced by mobster fantasy? Or is it like Maya said, or just two men outside of our opposite professions savoring each other's company? If Leslie could see me right now, I don't know what he'd think, or if he'd had even find it accusable. But I'm so easily torn away by my duties by a gangster, so maybe I was never cut out for this line of work to begin with. Whew. One of Maya's hands drifts to my chest, slipping around my waist to squeeze my hip. I never want to do this on a first date, especially as I like to give you a reason to come back. He handed me more straight words between breaths of kids, not giving me a moment to reply. but I just feel like you'll need too much convincing. His fingertips healing on my inner thigh, sending shivers through me from head to toe. Just a little bit higher. A little higher. Oh, man. A friend doctor makes us both jerk apart. Then he smooths back for his closed hair, sitting back and clearing his throat. Come in! The door instantly flies open and one of Maya's men bolts inside. Mr. Eastman, there's a bunch of cops sniffing around right side the joint. I think something's about to go down if we don't stop them. Wait. Those are my guys. Safety precaution. I jump from the sofa, inwardly kicking myself. Damn it, I should have told him to go home earlier. Lost track of time and shit, there's no excuse. It's alright, Richter. May's gentle voice calls to me reassuringly. Go put your men at ease. Maybe by some grand stroke of fate you'll end up here again tomorrow and we can resume our talk. He puts one of his wrinkly innocent smiles winking at me. Thanks. I hope I can see you soon. You doubtlessly will. With a hasty nod, I turn and follow the other man to the door, smoothing back my own ruffled hair. Lucky for me, this officer probably only being paid enough to ask many questions. Oh, and Richter? He calls out to me just as I'm about to cross the threshold and I glance back at him. Don't forget what your real duty is, Good night. Oh! Mayor's men shuffling right around to the exit before I have a chance to reply. My real duty? What the hell does he mean by that? Maybe it doesn't mean anything, but his words stick to the back of my mind, even as I leave the speakeasy to reassure the officer I'm alright and defuse the situation. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to meet Myers tomorrow and I'll ask him then. My heart's still pounding from the end of our talk. When I finally get home and roll into bed, there's no way I can finally fall asleep, so I spend the night freshly tossing and turning. I'd rather be hungover than this. Jesus! Infatuation doesn't fade away half as easy. Okay, this is a great stopping point at all, and I'm really enjoying the story. I think it's funny. I really do enjoy it. I really do. Anyways, the game will be linked into the description, and like always, I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!